Today is May 31st, 12:30 a.m. Just watch the clock switch, and we're going to talk some Yanks. They win in the West Coast.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello, and welcome to Talking Yanks, early morning edition, 12:30 a.m. My name's Jimmy. His name's Jake. BBD is here. It's brought to you by SeatGeek, where you can use code YANKS10 for 10% off, whether you've used a code before or not. Whether you've purchased tickets before or not does not matter. Code YANKS10 will get you 10% off to any event you want to go to over at SeatGeek. Jake, how you doing?
James Davis, Whitehead accessory game for those on the YouTube machine. They said it couldn't be done. They said we couldn't do the West Coast trips anymore. They're old. They're washed. You're right. We're feeling it.
Right.
But we're here. We're here.
You're right. And I'm bouncing early.
Jim's catching a bird in the morning, talking baseball tomorrow. Here's what you need to do. Thanks, SeatGeek. Buy a ticket. Go see these Yanks because they're going to win the world. Whoa. And make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. That helps. And when we ask, people subscribe. So, bang.
Bang.
Yanks take 2 out of 3. Jimbo, Angels are sad. It was basically 3 out of 3. That's that.
That's that.
Thanks
I
for
don't have
watching.
your video really, so I don't
Okay.
can't see you. Yes. Also, just a little PSA to everyone. I'm flying to Dallas tomorrow, 5:20. Uber picking me up, so I got 4 hours to sleep, 4.5 if we leave now. So yeah, I might be bouncing early. Let you guys do awards if we're doing awards. But I wanted to do a little State of the Union talk Yanks because I've been going through a lot of thoughts, and also I might not be on a couple of the future episodes because the ICC has invited me to do broadcast to be part of the broadcast for the Cricket World Cup, which is taking place in Dallas and New York and Florida, and I'll be in all the New York games, and it's very cool, crazy opportunity. But it will take me away from, like, I think maybe the next 2 Boone episodes or next 1 Boone app. I should be able to do some recaps, unless they're crazy late night like this. I don't know. I have to like figure out what my schedule is going to be like. But just a heads up, and appreciate everyone.
We'll figure it out.
Jake, I'm struggling. I think I've come to some conclusions with like how to feel about this team right now as we like end Memorial Day. And I really struggled with game 1 of this series of having emotions that I was seeing other people have and like I wasn't having them. So game 1, they lose. And this happened. What series was it where they lost in when Clay blew it earlier? Was that the Padres one? No, it was before the Padres. Forget who it was.
Series before.
Mariners.
Yes.
Where we were like, whatever. Like, he's deserved that. That's allowed.
First run he gave up.
Yeah. The team's good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that the team is good and the team feels good. That because I haven't thought the Yankees had a playoff team since 2020.
World Series team.
We're a team that will go deep in the playoffs. Yeah. Since 2020 that I've like haven't had any criticism yet, but I saw people being like, that's a brutal loss. That's one of the worst losses of the season. I was like, oh shit, I don't feel any of that. I'm still kind of like, whatever. Team's good. Lost a tough one. These guys got it. They'll win the series. And then I was like, I think I should be a little more upset. Like in 2019, and when I had high hopes, I would get upset about brutal losses. And then I was getting frustrated with myself, like, you're being too happy. that was kind of a bad loss. So then I didn't know where I stood. Then they win the next two, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't care about that loss anymore.
Them winning the next two games was important because that eradicates the first loss. I was bummed out originally. You're still on West Coast time, and things are just different. Like, Paulie and Case are taking more liberties on the broadcast. But also, Clay Holmes getting got again, which it's his first pitch. He gets jumped. I think the parts that were tough about it, in hindsight, that loss got worse. Because you're like, okay, baseball losses happen. The Rizzo play is kind of unlucky, kind of bad on Riz, but, 8 out of 10, that probably goes down differently. The thing that kind of hurt me about it was the first time Boone felt like he had a bullpen. So he took Nestor out a couple pitches early. Nestor was at 88 pitches. He was like excited to go to Kahnle. He was excited to go to Weaver. He was excited to go to Clay. Like, extra bullpen guy, off day, and then that came back and got them. The thing that made me livid afterwards, again, a little strong, late night Jake, sleeping on the couch a lot, neck hurts. That, man, for me, the Gleyber send in that game is crazy. And that's, for me, that was the looking back. Like, the Yankees they're very good. Like you've noted, that in a couple of their losses, they've had almost like whatever moves that have actually come back to bite them. Where it's like, hey, if you take care of business on that, or you don't send Gleyber there, like, you have a chance to open up the game, and then the game never opened up, and they ended up losing it. So I hope it turns into growing pains a little bit, but again, it kind of doesn't matter.
The send was awful, but Rojas, we've heard, gets a lot of credit for how many guys they've been picking off and how smart they've been playing, getting base runners out. So I was like, okay, whatever. He's done a lot of good. Also, if you show the replay again, because my screen is like really, I don't know if you'll be able to pause it. My thought is that there was two cutoff guys, the second baseman and the shortstop. And I don't know the difference in their arms. I don't know if that shot has it. It was one of the replay shots where they show him like getting waved on. And I would genuinely just wonder if Rojas thought the other infielder who was closer to the outfielder was going to get the cut because he was more in line. I don't think that angle has it.
Yeah, I don't think this video has that.
And then he didn't. See, they both go out. And the guy closer to the infield took it and turned and fired. I wonder if they have different arm strength. If Rojas thought it was the other dude, because when you see there's like a wide angle. I'm not trying to like make excuses. I'm just trying to wonder why he sent him, because it was a crazy send, especially with the batting order in the lineup.
I think it was just a good relay. And Rojas, I think they're playing in a world of like, hey, let's see if they can put together a good like, it was a very good replay. That's a throw from the wall to the infield. That, if Adele short hops it and there's a little, even a gather, that looks a lot closer, but it was really clean.
But
they already got,
you don't need to.
They already got the lead on that play. So they're like, the fairness I have for Rojas on there is banking on the Angels to make a mistake is a pretty reasonable bet for the most part.
Yeah, it botched a couple,
but they nailed that one.
Just no
wasn't
the other
necessary
thing that happened though was in game one, they lost it due to the Rizzo error. But it was a weird feeling because it was the most excited I've been about a bullpen, even though it was a game that they blew a lead and lost. Because Kahnle, Weaver, and Clay, until they add like actual guys at the deadline, that's it. That's a trio that in my brain is like, yes, those are relievers that come in and get strikeouts and can like mow guys down. And then today, Hamilton and the Ferg come in and they ruined the whole streak.
Hamilton
And,
looked
like,
good. That was Ferg and Rodon.
Yeah, the walk from Hamilton hurts, but and then Ferg comes in and just like he's out for me.
Yeah,
So
Ferg's never been in.
But that was another reminder of like, okay, I am not happy with the bullpen. Like that is something I can hold on to. That's not in,
You know you want that to change.
yeah, like I'm not just in a 100% internal bliss with the team. I am still worried about the bullpen come postseason. And I am interested in Rizzo and how much his power and his glove are tethered together.
A little bit. Like he really only had that one really strong stretch of a season. Yeah, and that Rizzo play, that was bizarre because if he doesn't go for that ball, Gleyber's right there. So that's, our guy Trevor May was retweeting your Rizzo post about him stepping up in the box and calling him the smartest player in baseball. And it's like, well, the defense has been bizarre. So I know that's been away for a while, but if he just retreats for first base, that's an out, and we don't talk about any of this. We say the Yankees swept the Angels. We're doing the third ad read, and we're in bed.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's still 90% in bliss. And then the other thing, then the Clarke news hits, and I'm like, okay, here's something to chew on. Clarke's hurt. He's out for a while. Cole's spot's going to be there for him. We don't have to worry about that. It's a real bummer for Clarke. He's going to be out probably 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. You're looking at June. You're looking at deadline acquisition, early August for Clarke's return. So that's a bummer, but also maybe he's fresher for the postseason. Now they don't got to put Heel down because Heel's a fucking stud. So I'm still like 98% bliss.
Yeah, texting some Yankee people today. For me, it's, and this is going to change because there will be injuries or whatever, a lefty strikeout reliever. That's because Matt Blake has deserved all the credit in the world, and we're going to see ebbs and flows in guys in the bullpen. Like Weaver, let's see how he looks as a reliever over a full season. And now Kahnle's back. Like Efros and Trevino, are they going to show up this year? Like we're going to have righty relievers. There's nothing in the pipeline for a hot lefty reliever that we'll have. So I've already started scouring the market for that.
Okay, did you find any?
We have some, but we got a lot of summer reps, so we'll save for that.
Okay.
Baseball, there's cricket.
So that's where I'm at with the team.
What other grounds
very,
creeping?
very much. What?
What other grounds creeping did you have outside of Clarke?
None.
Okay.
There's nothing else, right?
I think so. Cole's going to do a rehab game. That was kind of
they're saying sometime next week an official rehab assignment might begin.
Cody Morris got called up, but Cody Poteet will be the one replacing Clarke in the rotation.
Cody Poteet's a stud, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he had one outing where he just shut down the Guardians. It was like 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs or whatever. So
trade him.
That team's in first place.
The Yankees had the longest stretch since, Abraham Lincoln died of
play.
Whatever it was, 5 innings, 0 earned runs, or 5 innings, 2 earned runs.
Yes, over 5 innings, 2 runs or less.
That's insane.
It's nuts. They're doing it all around.
Yeah.
And then
I'm enjoying the team.
I think my final laugh, because this game became a blowout, but I think Paulie O wrapped it up with Soto and Judge combined for 5 RBI. And it's yes.
I also have one other thing that I'll say before I go to sleep is very soft take. Okay. Don't care. I don't think the lefty lineup does anything.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth doing. Doubling up Judge and Stanton, they're not rushing lefties. So I just stay consistent with rotating guys left, right, left, right, left, right. I say that, I believe it. I don't give a shit
Right.
if that happens or not happens. It's so minuscule. But every time I see that lineup, I'm like, I don't know. I like that we've been trying that. I don't know if we need to do this.
Yeah, I think the game of that is how much does it truly help us early on to potentially put us in a worse spot later in the game? Like, kind of, if you don't win the first 5-6 innings, now you've positioned your lineup lesser, and it's kind of for what?
It's like overall the lineup's more or less as balanced as it is anyway. So you're just kind of screwing Stanton, but yeah. And we hadn't seen a lefty in a while, so we hadn't thought about this lineup.
Yeah.
I have a trade proposal for you.
Okay.
It's similar to the Brandon Marsh for Logan O'Hoppe one.
Yes.
Logan O'Hoppe for Spencer Jones.
You're all in on O'Hoppe. Local kid, good pop.
What a great audition.
Yeah.
Trevy's on his last year or one more year after this?
I think he's got one more year after this.
Okay. So O'Hoppe then platoons with Wells. You got framing, defense, and pop from both sides. Angels, don't hog him. It's a local kid. Him and Volpe would love each other.
Spencer Jones, local enough.
Talk to our people. I don't know. I don't see the Yankees front office being excited about that.
Yeah, maybe not Jones.
Right.
I was just trying to think of a.
It's the Angels. Maybe they'll take Pereira.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a year, like a rookie or like a lot of years, because the Marsh O'Hoppe one was a weird trade.
Okay.
All right. Well, go Yanks.
Go Yanks. Go Jimmy. Good luck tomorrow. Jimmy was brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. It's what he eats before each flight. The dogs get filled up, and Jim says, I'm hitting the road. None of your kibble, none of your bits. Give me the good stuff made from real food. That's the whole deal with it. Your dog loves real food. I don't even know your dog, but I know they love real food, and I know they'd love the Farmer's Dog because it's specially made for them. Whether your dog is young or old, big or small, the packaging, it's made right for them. My dog is named Noodle. His bags say Noodle on them. Whether your dog is young or old, it's always the right time to begin investing in their health. Help keep your dog healthy and playing ball with 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/Yanks. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/Yanks to get 50% off. There's a link in the description. If you feed your dog, give Farmer's Dog a look.
Might as well feed the dog the good stuff. Only note I have before we move into awards, when we're talking about complaints from this series. Coming into today, I was prepared to be a little down on just like, series for the offense sort of was a little bit fully shut down. Win game one, whatever. Or was it? Balls were dying.
Nuts, yeah.
I don't know if it was specifically a win situation, but then they scored 7 runs tonight, so even that complaint out the window.
What if I could tell you they scored 8, BBD?
That they got to score 7 to score 8.
Big game. It's true. I think it's super burn season because it's the season of the sticks. Game 1, Nestor versus Griff in a battle of 2 names of guys you'd meet at a party and say, wait, what was that guy's name? As the Yanks play 3 in beautiful Los Angeles of Anaheim. S-O-T-O, Soto. Table for 1, please, but that'd be erased instantly as Kevin Rice Pilaf. Wow, he's there now? 2-run homer to leapfrog the scoreboard. And those would be the only 2 runs Nestor would give up. 5.1, 5 hits, 4 Ks. Yanks would add another Juan in the 4th with his RBI single, and then head to the wells once more with Austin's double. It's 3-2 Yanks, but a tough send by Rojas ends the inning with Gleyber out at the plate. It'd stay that way into the 8th. 2023 felt like a bad dream, but Willie can bang. He gets the weave dog. Clay leaves sends Yanks fan. Oh, Clay leaves sending Yanks fans to the Taylor psych ward as he gets him on the first pitch. It's 4-3 Halos, and that'd be your final. Dang, I'm not super burning. That was longer than I thought. We talked about this a little bit. I'm glad you brought up the win, Beebs. That was actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
I sent the message to the chat. Like, is something up? Paulio kept talking about it. I don't know. There was one or... Well, the Austin Wells ball.
Wells definitely thought he fully homered.
That was
ball.
a homer, I think, by that...
Statcast had it as a homer in 26 out of
26,
30.
yeah. So, like, that is a home run, and that was not a home run. And the Yankees kind of played like that was a home run, because this was also before Boone Day. So if you listen to that, you know that Griff Canning is awful at first pitches, and the Yankees are great at first pitches. So it seemed like we had the perfect formula set up. And, yeah, that ball... I hated how nonchalantly he caught it, because that was really close to being a home run, especially the little part of the fence over there.
Yeah. And, like, Adele kind of did that all series, I felt like. He had a couple, all the wind balls.
Adele's a weird watch. Angel fans, comment below.
Yeah.
That
was the most wind ball one, but, like, Judge thought he got
just generic
one.
balls to left center, and they weren't even close. So it's tough to say. Were people jammed? I know Jimmy sent a swing path to our chat at one point, and our results were inconclusive from that.
That Gleyber one, you were saying he hit it about as well as he could, and I thought he hit it very hard, and you thought that would at least find a gap.
Looked like a Gleyber double, and it was not.
The swing path Jim sent looked like slightly in off the
Maybe
barrel, so sure on that one.
I think the other, and to be fair, Nestor also gave up a couple that I think could have had a chance. I think if we looked at their balls, I think they landed deeper, which would tell you if we're going to say that about the Yanks. The send we talked about, overanalyzed a little bit. Love that. But yeah, however you want to label that. I think for Nestor, tough for him. Luis Rengifo mashes lefties, and Pilar came into this series out of his mind and mashing lefties. And like we talked about with the bullpen, Boone was excited to hit the button. Like we've seen a lot of our starters going 90s or even 100 with pitches. Nestor's line 5.12 earnings, no walks either. Again, the Angels were putting decent swings on him, so I'm not going to super defend Nestor there. But Boone was really excited to go to Kahnle, to go to Weaver, to go to Clay. And I think between the Rizzo play, it kind of comes down to that. The Yankees did everything but win this game.
Pretty much did everything but win this game. Just throwing in a name on the Boone having a bullpen to use. Like Ian Hamilton's back as well. Like, they believe in him, especially after a week off. So, yeah. It's like the first time all year it's felt like they had a bullpen to go to even cut a starter's day earlier than they needed to.
Yeah, this West Coast trip has had off days around it. Tommy Kahnle is back. They haven't been burning through the wind, so there was some irony that with that excitement, this is the game they lose. Anything else? Any errors? Any other defensive highlights? I don't think so.
No, there were a couple of balls just throughout the series, at least one in this game that was like, Verdugo, nice job running it down, but it's not a play that probably deserves more conversation than that, but he ran down a couple balls.
Leading in defensive runs saved. He's been killing it out there. We've talked about that. It is funny in hindsight looking back that the Yankees got fully shut down by their bullpen. 4 innings, no hits, no walks. So, and again, it kind of had that vibe. Like it felt like the Yankees were going to open this up early and welcome to Anaheim. And then first pitch by Clay, he gets jumped, gives them the lead. Bingo, bongo, bango. Let's do game 2. Because this... Yanks would buy a pair of cool shoes to try to get over the late-night loss, so they snagged a pair of Heelys with King Luis on the bump versus Mr. Anderson for the Halos. Like my college experience, we're scoreless into the fourth. Verdugo ball. Dog, 1-0 Yanks. Hey, Mom, watch this. Volpe with the Little League home run. Triple throw gets away. It's 2-0. That would get cut in half as Luis gets jumped or hopped by Logan. But other than that, he was hellacious. 9 Ks, 1 earned run, 8 innings pitched. God bless me. Clay for the 9th. Yanks win 2-1 final. Luis Hill, David.
Might be more on him later.
I think there has to be.
Yeah.
8 innings is insane. The pitch count early and then a couple of the quick innings late. Like you mentioned, there was a chance coming into today we were going to have to do some Yankees offense questions. I don't know. Do the Halos bullpen deserve a little love? I don't think so. Sorry, Halos.
Yeah.
Came off harsh. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at this box score. Yeah, okay. Team left on base, 11. Team with runners in scoring position, 1 for 8. So
The Angels walked 9 guys in this game.
the West Coast games, man. Anyone that listens knows. It's just a little off. It's just a little off.
Like I know coasts and stuff happen in other sports too, but something about a baseball changing coasts road trip. Just a little different.
Feels different. Jimmy's O'Hoppe homered. We mentioned that. That was Heel's only mistake. Clay Holmes' redemption, although there's a hit and a walk. I mean, were there signature plays in this game? Like that's what I mean, I think it's all about the guy that we're trying not to talk about right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll
He threw
through
8
the
innings
plays
with
I have,
8
but-
innings with 2 hits, 1 earned run, 9 Ks.
Yeah, Verdugo homered.
It's great.
That's about all I got. Volpe had an awesome play.
Yes, Volpe did have that awesome play going to his right against Shanuel. Kay was saying it even weirder than we've been saying it.
He's saying like Shanuel.
I'm over it. I've tried my best on talking baseball. Yes, it's always fun to call yourself out a little bit. I said even early on with Volpe, like all of his highlights were going to be going up the middle because that was going to help his arm strength. That one was not. He's going the other way. He makes a nice pick and he makes a strong throw. And we've done a lot of episodes. His defense has been it's leveled up.
Yeah, and he won the Gold Glove last year, pre-level up. He also has the Little League homer that I don't plan to have another conversation about later.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that. And if you had the vid, I mean, it's a fun concept because and Paul O'Neill did a great job highlighting this. And I always wonder, this is going to be the new StatCast stat at some point, how quickly guys actually get out of the box. Because that's a huge difference. Like if you take a big swing and you don't start running yet, that's a head start. Volpe swings, the ball is down the line, and he is gone. And then the other thing, which we found out a little more of today, it's a deep right field Soto triple today. But Volpe was thinking triple from the start. When he made the turn around second, you wondered if there was going to be any hesitation. There was none. I think if it's a perfect throw, they might have him. But it wasn't because it's a tough relay from there. Goes into the dugout. Kind of a gnarly collision. There's going to be a day when we don't want to see Anthony Volpe's body do that.
There's going to be a time when something like that happens and he doesn't come up so goofily. But
like you wish... you don't want to say this in a rude way, but, you'd love to see, like, Oswaldo do that slide. He's young. He's healthy. Yeah. If he's got to miss 2 days because of it. But, yeah, that's always a cool moment. It's cool to see the boys hype like that. They did, like, the fake home run celebration in the dugout.
Yeah, good highlight, and it did matter, so that's cool. Slight analytics on Volpe. We talked a little bit in the last couple episodes about the helmet flying off. I believe there's an article. I forget which of the Athletic guys wrote it. I think it was the Athletic. Apologies if I'm misattributing. But he figured out that he's wearing a helmet a size too big, but now it's kind of good luck and he can't change it.
Can't change it.
Yeah.
It's a signature. The Volpe smile is going to become more of a signature. Everything he's doing is really good. And it did get stated last episode's grounds creeping. DJ LeMahieu back.
Yes.
And we're probably talking about him more. So we'll get to that in a jiff. Let's finish off the games because not talking about Luis Gil is making me physically sick. Lefty rubber match in SoCal with a couple of 2022 studs. Rodon versus Sandoval. Bottom two, I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew. Logan goes solo to make it 1-0 Angels, but speaking of our sweet baby Jesus, captain, my captain, Judge, with the 2-run home run to take a 2-1 lead. It stayed that way into the 7th. Rodon's final batters, and then Fergie Ferg brings down the Yanks' London Bridge of consecutive starts with 2 runs or less. Finishes at 6 innings, 3 earnings for Rodon. But mama, there goes the bad man. After a couple RBI walks from Oswaldo and Volpe, Soto. Triple down the line, bases clearing, it's 7-1 Yanks. I already mentioned the riffraff that happens after that. It's Rodon to Hammy to Ferg to Kahnle to the Talkin truck. Yankees win 8-3 and they take 2 out of 3 in Anaheim. If we have any shoulder doctors that watch the show, something's happened. If any of them, if you're watching on YouTube, all of these motions hurt, so just send in what that is. Man, I'll tell you what, and I could be wrong and potentially correct me. I was getting excited to give Rodon a pride.
He was on that path for me.
And then
not a ton of candidates.
He blew the record accidentally.
Yeah, it blew the record. He didn't get helped by the guys who came after him, but
they also showed the again left coast Yankees. They showed the clip of Rodon coming off the mound for his final game last year and greeting the fans. He's in such better shape. I know we've done it. The side by side is nuts. He
looks different.
I was comparing him to David Wells last year. That's not great. He's like a fit. He went from Wells to Pettit. Probably would have been a good award. The Judge homer's sick. Just like you see a broken left-handed pitcher on the mound. Because you see later in this game, Sandoval had a foul ball down the line that Adele couldn't get, and he was visibly mad about it. He ends up striking out Judge. But you get the Judge homer, that's 2, and then the Soto chopper, which you were laughing about the exit velo, because we might need to measure that differently. And I want to look at where the Angels' defense was playing again, because it's bases loaded. Do they have the infield? I think it's like corners in.
Corners in, they'd maybe call that corners even.
But it was a 4-1 game at that point, like cutting off 1 run when there's only 1 out. I don't know. I'm over the Angels. I think the Angels are over the Angels. They're probably happy the Mets are getting some of the back pages and front pages. Although that cleared up decently, huh?
Yeah.
It just felt super Metsy, and it still is.
Yeah, I mean, they still DFA'd him, right?
Yeah. I think that's clean for everyone.
Everyone's sort of okay.
Sometimes you just got to keep it moving.
Talking baseball.
And that's what we've been doing a little bit. Adam Simber, El Grosso, don't show me him. One of my Blue Jays nemesises. Came to the office. Nice cat.
Nice dude.
Just something about a guy throwing underhand at 85 in the big leagues. Gets to me. Yeah. And he walked 4 batters. Walked 4 batters. We did the bullpen discussion. The bullpen budget, if you will. Rodon. Judge. Anything else from this one, Beebs?
No, I think anything else would get covered.
Well, let's cover it. That's what we do here. And the other thing that has you covered, how about the New York Yankees MasterCard credit card? Yankees fans, you're already getting Pinstripe news with us, and now you can earn Pinstripe rewards with the New York Yankees MasterCard credit card. Everyone who opens up the Yankees credit card can earn 2 free tickets when you spend $100 on the Yankees credit card within 30 days of opening up the account. Man, $100 within the first 30 days. You could do that. You do that 30 seconds in New York City. I did that today. What did I pay for? What did I pay for? Billie Eilish song. Not the words. 5% back on purchases at the stadium. 3% back on restaurants, bars, rideshare, mass transit. If you're a Yankees fan, this is probably the card for you. Hate to overstep my boundaries. There's a link in the description for more info and to start earning rewards today. Visit pinstriperewards.com. That's pinstriperewards.com. Restrictions apply.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah, pride of the Yankees.
You get to go first.
See, I think I am entering a bit of an interesting predicament because I think there is a guy that I've started to give this to regularly. But I openly admitted I full-blown swooned for him. I changed my tone. I forget if this was last episode or 2 episodes ago. I think 2. Luis Gil. Luis Gil, 8 innings pitched. 2 hits, 2 walks, 9 Ks, and the 1 home run. And literally, it's West Coast Yanks. West Coast makes it tough to tweet as much as I used to. Twitter's kind of fugly sometimes. I think when Rangers and NBA and everything else is done, I'm going to be full-blown in my baseball tweet rhythm again, kind of getting through my spring training with my shoulder like I talked about. Luis Gil, I was just about to tweet out, he looks bored. Like he just hit the point where he's so good. He's playing Anaheim. They can't touch him. He's given up 1 hit. And literally the next pitch, he gave up the home run to Ohapi, which barely got out of the yard. I didn't know that Anaheim even changed their homer line. You used to have to hit it out. O'Neill talked about that.
It definitely never felt like small. Felt like you had to get it there.
No, and it was just funny that Judge and Soto were looking at it. I mean, this is no shot at Ohapi, and it's been this way for a while now, but it was just kind of a head tilt moment. 95 pitches, 8 innings, which, again, the Luis Gil story of this season has completely changed. I walked through it a couple eps, so I don't do the whole thing. Here's what I'll tell you. Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill, who are much more respected humans than they said he's the All-Star Game starter right now. So, when you have a guy with an innings limit coming off his second Tommy John, I know that doesn't excite us like it would in a normal year. Like, I remember, didn't Cole get his first All-Star Game start? And we were like, yes!
Yeah.
Yes, Garrett! Luis Gil, it's like, nah. Go there, take some pictures during the Derby and stuff. But a special outing, and now he's 7-1, a 1.99 ERA. That's on the season. More recently, the numbers are grosser than that.
Been in the rotation all year, like from the start of the year. He's been there.
I gotta find
ones.
There's a Katie Sharp stat. Do you have that? Let's see. First. Okay, here's one Katie Sharp stat. Luis Gil is the first pitcher in Yankees history with 6+ wins, 40+ Ks, and a sub-0.75 ERA in any 6-game span. So there's a couple butter knife things there, the 6+ wins. But 0.75 ERA in his last 6 starts. He's hit a special territory. Like this isn't guy on a good run. This is first time in Yankee history stuff. Katie Sharp retweeted Rich Eisen, who said, saw him in person tonight. Electric.
Love that. I believe first time going 7 innings, and he goes 8 innings, 9 Ks. We know isn't his high because he broke the record just a couple weeks ago, but that is a standout day, and it was still under 100 pitches.
He is, and earmuffs for some of our friends maybe. Was there a moment coming off of a Yankees bad loss on Monday when I went to watch the 9:38 game and put on the Yes Network, only to find out it's on Amazon, that I let out a pretty deep exhale? Yes, I did. Then, when I saw Luis Gil was on the mound, I was full perked up, man. He's must watch, like around baseball. Who's his next start against? He's gonna see San Francisco.
I think he'll get into this, right? He should get the finale. No, that'll be Nestor, so he gets game 1 versus Minnesota, revenge.
Ooh, second time a team's seeing him?
I think
that'll get Jimmy excited. Maybe not.
Did he dodge him last time?
I think he was the last game in Tampa, so no excitement. Who's your pride, Davis?
My pride of the Yankees. Sometimes there's layups to be hit. There's the guy the Yankees went and got this offseason named Juan Soto, who had the best offensive series, 4 for 11, 4 walks. In the wind game, he is the guy who got it out. So wind didn't matter to him.
Yeah.
He hits the homer. He hits all series. He hits the triple that effectively ends the last game of this series. There's not enough good things in the world to say about Juan Soto.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to be putting myself down. Sometimes I laugh when I listen to Chris Rose talk and see how many... Chris Rose will call himself a fat ass, and it's like, Chris Rose, you're in pretty good shape for a fella your age. For a guy who's 144 years old, you're not bad. I was about to... The person complimenting Juan Soto on today's broadcast was Billy Crystal. So, again, that's a very different air than almost everyone on the planet. But, yeah. Seeing him get I don't want to say fluky hit, because like you said, there's technically exit velo on it.
Yeah.
And it's down the line. Like, there's doubles down the line in baseball. But it's just one of those, for me, that was my first head tilt. We've seen him get cheapies the other way, because everyone gets cheapies the other way. You hit a ball, it lands over there, sure. To see him get that's kind of like a damn. Mm-hmm. And I like when the other team feels that way. So that's a good pick.
It's a good pick. I thought there were 2 obvious guys, and we nailed them.
Yeah, good on us. Ooh, the next part, huh?
You Yankee motherfucker.
Wow. You know what? We did it early, and I guess I got too perked up to do it, but Anthony Rizzo, again, that one moment goes differently, and the whole top part of the show is different, and it's the dominant Yankees, and I'd probably still say I want one lefty reliever, but everything is humming. This team's incredible. And yeah, I get the part that got me, and I said this, the part that got me wasn't that he boofed the play, because people boof plays. That happens. A guy renowned as one of the smartest guys in the game, like Gleyber was positioned almost right behind him. That is the modern first baseman. It's almost one of these rules. If you have to go right, like, don't go for it. Now, again, he's Anthony Rizzo. He's got a platinum glove. He sees a ball that's going to hit his glove. He's going to go for it. But I don't know. That combined with the 1 for 8 for the series, and he's in a little bit of a funk now, and the fact that when we interviewed Boone on Tuesday, we had there's almost no Yankee problematic questions. Like, we even had a little bit of a conversation that was like, could they change? How would they even change the lineup? Like, things are pretty set. After this one game, it was like slide Rizzo down.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't they? Or did I dream
They-
that? Yeah, the
they
second
did.
game, they slid him down to 7th.
But is that? I think it might have been just because of the lefty.
It's a lefty, but... And again,
I'm curious to see what the next righty lineup
this could be a good thing for the Yankees going forward. But yeah, Rizzo's stats on the year. I just clicked ESPN, which has the most up-to-date OPS. Shout out to the worldwide leader. 677.
Yeah. I think coming into this, it was like 690, so you could talk yourself into a good week away from being just fine.
Well, I think the
But
other
that's-
part around it that's a little daunting is just that he's had one hot stretch, right? Because he was struggling end of April. Okay, so April 26, he's 231, a 635 OPS.
In mine and Jimmy's road trip homestand chart, he had a solid stretch. First homestand of the year, just under an 800 OPS, then a bad road trip, and then 808, 937, 899. So that spans Tampa through the second time they faced Houston.
First road trip, end of the first road trip, he's got a 582 OPS.
Oh, sorry. First homestand was okay.
Oh, okay.
And then the third road trip, their second road trip bad.
How about this?
I'm fumbling words. He hasn't been very good.
From
It's
April
one loss.
27th to May 14th, so about 2.5 weeks, Rizzo has very good stats. Everything else around that has been pretty bare bones. So,
Yes.
hey, maybe another...
Especially for who he is.
Hey, again, 2.5 weeks in baseball is a nice chunk, especially when you have Soto and Judge. So hopefully we're coming up on that next 2.5 weeks. But yeah, it's Riz.
Yeah, it just is. My MFer. I think it's Giancarlo Stanton. He has the worst stats. Didn't really walk enough. Doesn't have the opportunity to help himself in the field. He's got the worst stats. Band-Aid. None of the pitchers felt like they deserved MF.
Dang. Caleb. Yeah. Stan's going to end the year with one of the more bizarre stat lines you'll see, I think.
Yeah.
Just power. Very pure power. Whatever. They were supposed to sweep them. That's a tough MFer. Let's just get to regular old awards. Regular old awards are brought to you by our partnership with Dan Patrick. If you don't know, John Boy Media, iHeart Podcasts, we've teamed up, and now 2 John Boy Media shows can be seen over with them over at the Dan Patrick Show. Wake and Jake with me and BBD, talking sports, a lot of baseball, a lot of other sports. Jimmy's 3 Things, where he dives into a couple baseball topics. And hey, if you've been watching those shows, whether they're on our YouTube or wherever, you can still find them there. I think Jimmy's 3 Things is on a different RSS feed now if you're hunting for that.
If you listen to the audio only, it's its own
location
thing.
has changed. And this is off the record. It's when we signed up, we were like, okay, Dan Patrick's cool. This is cool people to partner with. We didn't expect like too much from it, and it's been really cool. So if you see Dan Patrick himself, say hi. Thank him. Let's do regular old awards, as you mentioned. And I'm going to give out the Sneaky Coin Flip Award.
Oh.
Sneaky Coin Flip.
Sneaky coin flip. Guys we haven't talked about. This going to Tommy Kahnle.
Ooh. I like the guess. It's very wrong.
Very wrong.
It's going to Gleyber Torres, who Gleyber led the team in on-base percentage with a 500 on-base percentage this series, which I don't know if I mentally had that. But he tied, or excuse me, Soto did have a higher on base percentage. But him and Soto were tied for the most walks. Gleyber had 2 hits. I talked about his double swing. That did not happen. And yeah, I guess this Gleyber Torres chip away on becoming the hitting second baseman that Gleyber Torres is supposed to be, it's kind of slowly continued. There just hasn't been like the big day at the office. Like he has that 1 3-run home run that was against Seattle that they lost that game. That was the game he hit the 3-run homer. They brought in Clayton Andrews, who got popped. So that home run kind of went missing. Like Gleyber has not had a crazy day at the office. He has not had a 3-hit day. He has that one day with a 3-run home run. Otherwise, he's just been constantly chipping away, which I guess I want to say in a complimentary way, because if he has the big series or the 3-for-4 day, all of these numbers are going to look that much more impressive. But in the last 16 games, this is excluding today, 281, 354, 863 OPS. And today he was 1 for 3 with a walk. So again, the stat lines aren't pretty, but Gleyber Torres has been playing at a high level for about 3 weeks now, and it hasn't felt like that. Is that rude?
It hasn't felt like he's gone nuts. There was at one point, butter knife I had put out there that like his WRC plus over a 2-week period was 145, which is like very good.
Dude, that was the other part of the West Coast broadcast that I felt like they were demoing that.
Yeah, they brought that in.
They did ERA plus too.
Yeah.
They were like introduced, and Paul O'Neill had that amazing line where he's like, what do you say? I don't know this stat, but I like the numbers.
It was something along those lines. We were texting about it because we liked it so much.
You forget Paulie can bust out a nuke like that sometimes.
What's unfortunate for Gleyber in this stretch is over that period where he had the 145. Don't know where it's at right now. That was the 6th highest on the team.
Right.
So
other guys are doing flashier things.
Yes.
But hey, got on base at a 500 clip this series.
Got on base at a 500 clip this series. I'm mad you gave him this award. I had the script switch award ready to go because he hadn't been walking this year. Walked a lot this series,
Yeah.
And especially tonight, but throughout this series, good defense. Couple plus plays, I thought.
Yeah, that play he made that could have been a double play with Volpe.
Yeah, Volpe's the one. If you're going to say somebody messed that up, that's Volpe.
It was nice. Tough send on Rojas, not giving that to Gleyber. Where are you going, Beaverton?
For my first award, pivoting, I'm going to get the Annoying Boss Award.
Annoying Boss. I'm going to go Nestor Cortez.
No, I like the thought. It is a pitcher. I did a classic. I guess the guy I was going to give it to. It's Tommy Kahnle. Okay. He's now pitched 3 games since returning. He hasn't struck anybody out. And, like, it doesn't matter because you're getting the results so far. But, like, I want you to be the strikeout guy. And you were striking out guys on the rehab. And it's like, I know this doesn't matter. I'm being annoying to you. You'll probably get those by this time next week. But through 3 appearances, you haven't struck somebody out yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Watching Tommy pitch, they got the double play ball today, and he was jazzed up about that. I feel like they cut to him a half second late, and he was getting really jazzy. Yeah, I guess I don't have the wipeout changeup in my head. The only pitch I have in my head from today was him throwing an away slider that I think Pilar took. So that's nothing. So, yeah, let's get the signature Tommy Kahnle strikeout.
What the bullpen's really needed is a guy who can strike guys out. You're somebody who is supposed to be doing that. And it just hasn't happened yet. 3 games. But I noticed you hadn't struck someone out yet.
I like Tommy.
I like Tommy. Very glad he's back.
Energy you can't match. my final and most prestigious award. This is gonna, you know what? This is full blown. This is trust tree right now. Okay, it's late night. Jesus Christ, it's 1:24 a.m. Whew, this is stupid. How do I want to do this? We've got people live in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for everyone listening right now. How about this? It's a good answer, but it shouldn't be the answer. Award.
Answer, but it shouldn't. Ooh.
It's a tough. Everything was tough about that. Everything was tough about that.
I'll go with my gut, and I will fire off a guess of Luke Weaver.
Ooh, okay. It's not Luke Weaver.
Jimmy's gone. We've talked about him.
Yeah, I love the Weave too.
I like what he's doing.
Fun mannerisms. Has given up runs in his last 3 appearances. Something to track. No, it's related to the topic. All right, I'm gonna do this in ideally 30 seconds. We opened up the show. We talked about how good the Yankees are. One thing the Yankees are missing right now for me is like a wipeout lefty reliever. I think if they had that guy, the team would feel like a team, especially at the end of the year. I think some relievers on the back end are going to continue to climb. Some will fall. We'll figure it out. But we have no real lefty options that can excel. How perfect, if everything else is right, and if he was bought in, Carlos Rodon in the Patrick Corbin role. So the Nationals World Series run, they signed Patrick Corbin to a big contract. Patrick Corbin became their swingman out of the bullpen, and he started games too, so I don't want to just put that on him. But that could be, if everything else was incredible, let's say Garrett Cole comes back and he's an ace. Let's say this Luis Gil story continues and he's a guy. And then it's probably Rodon if we're being honest. Clarke just got hurt. Nestor's been good, but I don't think as good, especially recently. I don't know. If the Yankees continue to have surpluses of options at every position, Carlos Rodon, who's a guy that can tick up his stuff, we got sent a stat today. Rodon's given up 10 home runs this year. They're all solo homers. And we've seen it. When Rodon gets in trouble early in games, he dials up his fastball. So you got a guy that can dial it up, fastball, slider, like he already loves his 2 pitches. Carlos Rodon may not deserve that. He could be our 2 starter going into the playoffs. But it's a thought that went through my head. I'm putting it out here in May, and hopefully we never talk about it again.
Yeah. I mean, never have to talk about it again.
It's innocent.
But guys were like being used as starters. It's like use their throw day. Like,
it was just something that spun through my head while I was saying. Feo in the chat mad at me. Yes, Rodon's probably our 2, and he probably will be our 2. If the Yankees don't, Luis Gil and Garrett Cole would be my counter. If the Yankees don't find left-handed options, I guess I was doing. Who goes to the bullpen and is better, Nestor or Rodon? Easily Rodon. Nestor's pitched out of the bullpen, but Rodon's nasty. Hey, this is a daydream conversation, and I don't think we'll ever come across it again. Rodon's been awesome.
My last and final award, I'm trying to think of the name for it. I think technically this isn't what this is, so that's tough. And this is going to 2 people. The inverse relationship reward.
Inverse relationship for 2. Verdugo and Soto.
Oh, I wish. It's going to the catchers. Okay. Trevi got 2 starts against the lefty and kind of didn't hit, but Wells kind of did hit. And I know he got 1 wind balled, but he did get the double later. He walked a little bit. His numbers on the series are pretty good. One game. So I don't know. It was a one up, one down. You guys don't got to be mutually exclusive. You guys can both just take your turns and go. But this series, Trevi maybe showed signs of slowing down. He got a sack fly in this game, so might be rude of me to even say that about him. But he didn't get any hits, and he got to face 2 lefties, and we've been singing his praises about how his whole Yankee career he's mashed lefties sneakily.
We've been saying this about the catchers a lot, that the at-bats have been good, and the at-bats were good. Trevino had another ball he hit on the screws that I made an audible noise. Unfortunately, it was right at the center fielder. That Wells ball would have been a home run a lot of times. It wasn't this time. It's still a little nutty what they're doing, although Wells's numbers are not. Wells's numbers are still not there, which is kind of a bummer. That ball doesn't get out. Trevi's numbers are still crazy.
Trevi's numbers are just straight up good. Wells, I haven't deep dove in a little bit, but early in the year he hit into what felt like so much bad luck that you could probably do some funny business there. But then he had a couple cold stretches. I like both of them, so just feel like it's important for me to say that.
Yeah.
And everybody else I feel like we talked about enough.
And Jimmy trading for Ohapi. Yeah, I was going to, DJ looked like DJ. Let's continue to see what it looks like. He had a couple balls that were not robbed, but again, hit right at people. The
contact felt good. He made a couple solid plays. It was like, all right, I saw enough to be like, you're back to what you have been on defense last couple of years. I'm good with that.
Chat wanted some Doogie. Chat wants everything. I want the chat. It's bedtime. We will see you guys back here Friday, probably around 7. I think that's when the Giants series winds down.
Sunday.
4:00 game Sunday, so we'll probably be back here Sunday night. Everyone enjoy your weekend. Watch everything John Boy Media. And let's go Yanks. I guess tell them, Jim's grandma.
Go Yankees.